All right, let's talk about colonialism. It's basically gentrification, but for entire continents. It's been a really long time since the British ruled the world, but the remnants of their empire, well, they still linger here and there, like Ghislaine Maxwell at a cheerleading competition. But yesterday, yet another former British colony announced that they were cutting ties.
The island of Barbados is officially a republic. In a ceremony last night, the Queen's standard lowered for good. Queen Elizabeth removed as head of state, and Barbados sworn its first president. The Caribbean island cutting 400 years of British ties. Many British fortunes made from sugar and slavery. Prince Charles on hand to reflect on the island's journey as well. And a different sort of queen honor there. Pop star Rihanna was named a national hero.
Well, damn. Rihanna put up one photo of her butt, and immediately Barbados was like, all right, we're done with the Queen. Rihanna is our leader now. Meanwhile, the Queen was like, Rihanna, is she the one who married Harry? I mean, you know what this means, right? If the Queen wants her colony back, she's got to fight fire with fire. Just doing anything for you, Barbados? You got any regrets now? Look at that ass. And you know, you got to feel bad for the British Empire. I mean, unless your country was pillaged by them and they stole all your jewels and resources. Because think about it, last year, they lost one black person, and now they've lost an entire island of black people. This inflation is real, man. Like, what the hell, Brandon? Did I do it right? Is that how it works? But you know, the story does remind you, it actually does remind you how crazy and massive colonialism was. Like, we think of colonialism as this old thing from textbooks, but you realize that in 2021, there are still like a dozen countries that have the Queen's picture on their money. And not like the dope picture. You understand how wild that is? Like, imagine if your ex had so much power over you that 300 years after you broke up, you still had to have their face on your phone's lock screen. Ah, yes. Ah, Kelly. How I don't miss her.
I also think it makes sense that the crown is leaving Barbados because for so long their whole economy was sugar and slavery, two things that now we know are bad.
I'm sorry, did you say now we know are bad?
You know, recently, until recently.
Yeah, at least now we know, Michael. At least now we know. All right, let's move on from the most fun.
Sugar will get you, Trevor. Sugar?
Yes, you're right. Sugar and slavery, and sugar will get you. All right, let's move on from the most fun place in the world to the least, North Korea. As a dictatorship, North Korea has a lot of arbitrary rules that citizens have to follow, and I mean have to follow. For instance, they're not allowed to listen to foreign music. They're not allowed to smile publicly on the anniversary of Kim Il-sung's death, and they are not allowed to make any international phone calls, which that last one I kind of agree with. I mean, I don't want people from North Korea phoning me and depressing me with their problems. Like, I got my own shit to deal with. I've got all this food left over from Thanksgiving. I don't even know where to put it. I'm just saying, like, we've all got problems, you know? But just when you thought North Korea couldn't get any more oppressive, they announced a new law this week that's even telling people how to dress.
North Korea banning leather coats, all in an effort to get citizens to stop imitating Kim Jong-un's style. The country's dictator has been spotted on numerous occasions in a cowhide coat. According to Radio Free Asia, the jackets took off in North Korea after Kim wore one back in 2019. Since then, imitation coats have cropped up across the country. Radio Free Asia reporting there are literal fashion police roaming North Korea looking for anyone sporting a leather jacket. According to an anonymous source, law enforcement in the country is going after companies making imitation coats, as well as anyone they spot wearing one in public.
Did they say there's literal fashion police? Because now all I'm thinking of is like North Korea's version of Queer Eye. It's like Kim I for the Korean guy, them just walking down the street like, honey, you cannot look that good. This is such a strange story because I always thought that dictators wanted everyone to copy them. You know, think like me, act like me, look like me, dress like me. But then Kim Jong-un, he looked at himself wearing this jacket and he was like, nobody else is allowed to look this fly.